I'll have 5 apricots and a packet of seeds, please. Planning a party, sir? How about something for the weekend? Yes, why not? Hand me that Megacan. On this week's show, the CDU goes back to what it knows best, the slightly corrupt use of power, why Donald Trump has decided to weaken the US militarily, and a shadowy murder in the Tiergarten. Do it up.
Good evening, everybody. It's another episode of Megan's Megacan. I'm Megan. I'm here on lovely, slightly grey Friday evening in Berlin. And I'm here with ex-Berliner magazine and Konrad Werner.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine, yeah. It's muggy, isn't it? Would you call it muggy?
It's a wee bit... Do you know what I'd call it, or what my dad would call it, is close.
It's close.
Very close.
Yeah.
He was complaining yesterday that it was very close. It was about 19 degrees in Ireland when he called me yesterday. And then I was like, well, Daddy, I'm just up to my eyes in work and it's like 28 here. And he was like, oh God. It's an unbearable concept for him to be in work in 28 degrees.
Yeah, I don't like it either. I mean, I can... anything over 25, I start to feel muggy.
No. But it is a little bit muggy today. Maybe we're going to get some storms.
Yeah, there's a certain amount of... I don't think people want to listen to us talk about humidity, the humidity levels.
Shall we drink?
Yes, let's have a drink.
We're going to, and I don't really know how this has happened, but I went into the street at the end of the road. I was like, I'm going to drink rum. I am going to make Konrad drink rum with me. Because I hate rum. I don't know why. I have this theory that rum drinkers are insane. And so when you drink rum, everything goes a bit mad. And I just feel maybe it's the mugginess, maybe it's the humidity, maybe it's the fact that I saw teenagers for the last time today until after the summer holidays. I don't know.
All those factors add up
They've combined to this,
rum,
which is possibly quite nice ones. So we've gone with 2 Bacardis, or one of them's got like a really long hair of mine stuck on it. So you can have, and I don't know what the difference is really. There's a Bacardi Oak Heart. Mm. Is that where they try and make rum taste like whiskey? And I hope that you won't notice. Bacardi Oak Heart and cola, or you can have a Cuba Libre, which is Bacardi with cola. Oh, that one's got lime flavours in it. That's good.
Can I have the Cuba Libre, please?
You can. I knew you were going to take that one because it sounds nicer, but you get to have the one with my hair on it. So that's your...
So it swings and roundabouts.
It is swings and roundabouts. All right.
Yeah, well, I had the Oak Heart once. And I wouldn't say I was just disappointed. I was horrified.
Oh, no. Oh, no. What have I done? Why am I doing this to myself? I'm going to remember this when I wake up tomorrow. This has also got hair.
Have these been in your cupboard or something?
No, they've just been in my handbag for like 3 minutes as I walk from the Späti.
Okay.
But God
mine's
knows.
got like bits of grime in the top lip.
Has it?
It's got like
detritus of my handbag.
I don't know what it is. It's got sort of dust or something.
I think I had a big like freezer bag in there earlier with sort of slightly melting freezer packs because I brought ice cream to the park for the kids today. Oh,
okay.
Yeah, and we did Shakespeare in the Park with ice cream.
Okay, well maybe that accounts for this sort of lint that I have on something at the top of my can.
You're welcome. All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh yeah.
Well, it smells like rum.
Yeah, that's definitely a Bacardi Cuba Libre.
What is that?
You've never made that face before.
Oh, God. Why is it so... It tastes like... Is it Dr. Pepper that tastes like that? I don't know what Dr. Pepper tastes of.
I don't know. I
Oh.
It's just the association with oak makes you think you're going to like it.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like a whiskey.
Yeah.
You know, because some rums, they like age them in like whiskey barrels and they're kind of delicious.
Yeah.
This is...
I don't know what they've done there.
I don't know. We're going to be doing well if I can get through this. I mean, obviously I will for, professional journalistic purposes.
Yeah, you'll stick to it.
The one job I have is to bring the Megacans, and giving you one covered in filth and mine one that's barely drinkable. So, doing well.
Doing well. It's got off to a flying start, this one. Okay, so.
Speaking of things getting off to a flying start.
Yeah.
Have you got the Corona app?
No.
Because it's launched this week, hasn't it, in Germany?
It launched on Tuesday.
Yeah.
The Corona Warn app, and everybody in the country is being advised to download it, and it is supposed to, and apparently it will only be effective if 60% of the population uses it. Is that true? What does Drosten say?
Apping. I don't know. I haven't listened to Drosten. Although I'm wearing a t-shirt with his face on, that is only to make up for the fact that I haven't been listening to him for ages.
Okay.
But yeah, I would suggest that everyone... I did read the security on it, and it is pretty tight. So try. I've tried, and I think because my Google account is... linked to the UK, it's like not available in your country.
Well, I couldn't download it because it said that my Apple operating system wasn't new enough for it, and yet my Apple operating system is apparently the newest it can be. According to Apple, on my iPhone, I have a state-of-the-art operating system on my iPhone.
State-of-the-art?
It's 12.7 or something.
I think Robert Koch and his institute would beg to differ.
Yeah, Robert Koch was like, no way. That is not good enough. You can't have our app. So I haven't got it.
You and me not. Let's hope
Well, according
one
to...
of us doesn't have corona, because the other will be none the wiser.
No. So it's not working in here. The point of the app is that it uses low-energy Bluetooth and monitors what other smartphones are in the area of your, isn't it? That's what it just tells you.
Yes, and it's completely anonymous apparently.
Yeah.
So
WhatsApp.
Even if you get and I think it's going to end up being quite interesting because it won't tell you who has infected you. So it's going to end up in these really elaborate kind of games of whodunit.
Yeah.
It might even tear friendships apart or families. Can you imagine you all get infected after a family birthday, but nobody knows?
Nobody knows who did it.
I guess you would probably know in the family. But I guess, I don't know. I think it's going to be cool. I wanted to have it, but...
Yeah, I wanted to have a go on it, but,
Have a go.
Apparently my low energy... my phone can't deal with low energy Bluetooth.
Oh, maybe it's too advanced.
Maybe it's too great. My phone's just... I don't know. Anyway, disappointing.
It's a bit disappointing.
So I can't really talk much about it.
Judging by what's happening out there, Corona must be over.
Apparently, although not in Neukölln.
Great.
Which
is where I've just come from on the M41, the COVID Express. So we've all got it now. Quarantine with you.
If any bus is going to have COVID-19 on
100%.
it, it's probably going to be the M41. Yeah, so apparently 70 people have been infected in a single apartment block and a city block, and 7 whole apartment blocks have been quarantined, which doesn't sound like fun.
No, that does not sound like fun.
And the infection rate in Berlin is now at 1.23, which is a lot, which is too high.
Yeah, but what's the case number? Because the last episode I did listen to Drosten, he was like, well, a high infection rate is only really a big issue if you've got higher cases. Okay.
Well, according to the latest update on xbliner.com, there are 7,474 confirmed cases in Berlin to date, of which 6,778 have recovered.
Yeah, so it should tell you unless we're going to do quick maths, which I'm certainly not, because that disgusting Bacardi is already going to my head.
So there's a few, I don't know, there's about 700.
Write in and tell us.
There's about 700 infected people walking around now with it in the whole of Berlin. I guess some of them are in hospital.
But at least 25 of them are currently on the M41.
Not wearing a mask.
Oh, the M41's mad for masks. People playing fast and loose with masks on there, let me tell you.
Are they sharing masks?
Oh, God knows. taking masks off to make a really like specific point to their partner. I saw that the other week. It was like, no, you really need to hear me on this. I was like, put your freaking mask on.
I heard a story about someone went to a restaurant and and they said, "Oh, I forgot my mask. I don't know what I'm going to do." And the waitress said, "Oh, you can just have mine. I haven't got corona."
Wowee. Wowee wow.
Anyway, that was an apocryphal story.
Yeah.
From the wilds of Berlin.
Okay. Well.
So, yeah. In normal news, other news, slightly less depressing, if anything, comforting news.
Comforting?
Well,
like comforting, like actually comforting?
Well, it's comforting for me because it's back to my like routine day job, which is just following what the scandals that the CDU gets into and finding
great.
You're like
the CDU gossip columnist. Who is that starlet slept with now? My goodness, she's going off the rails.
Exactly.
What have the CDU done now?
So there's a young lad called Philip Amthor.
Philip Amthor.
He is 27 years old.
27, yes.
Former head of the Junge Union, who I've talked about.
You were going to show me that picture. You did show me a picture. Can I see it again now with this full of knowledge?
Of like who he is, yeah. This little chap.
That man is 27.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
How old do you think he looks?
He looks at least 43. He's got, for people at home, turn it around again. He's got like, I mean, he's kind of cute, but he's got like big glasses, which I think are trying to be like trendy big, but they're just not quite, because he's paired them with a side part and a comb, not like a balding comb over, but just a...
Yeah, he's done like a comb over. I mean, he does look a bit...
Working for NASA in the 50s comb over, and I'm 43 if I'm a day. 27!
He's 27, and he is... to me, he just looks like a sort of blonde Harry Potter.
Yeah, when Harry Potter reaches middle age, yes, that is who he is.
A blonde. Anyway, the point is, he has got into trouble. He is considered what the Germans like to call ein shooting star in the CDU. But he got into trouble this week because the Spiegel found out that he had been...
I have no idea what you're going to say having looked at that picture. Anything other than...
He was on...
Maybe trading collectible stamps on the black market is going to really shock me.
No, that was close. It's actually not close. It's nothing like that. He was on the board of an American company called Augustus Intelligence, which is supposed to be developing AI and facial recognition technology, but actually doesn't have a product or any customers or, in fact, any turnover at this point. But he was on the board of this company, which is a bit weird for a start. And then last year, he wrote a letter. By the way, he's an MP in the Bundestag. I should have mentioned that. And he's kind of important in the CDU. And he wrote a letter on his official MP's letterhead to the state secretary, Peter Altmaier.
I don't know.
Saying, "Oh, can you help out this company? This company that I'm quite interested in what they're doing, and I wondered if you could help them out politically. Would that be a problem?" And he used his official letter paper, and he's on the board of this company. And he said he wasn't actually being paid by this company, but what he did have were options to buy their shares. Which is so that if this company goes up in the future, then it means that you're first in line to buy the shares so that you can make money in the future, but you're not actually being paid by the company. So it's not actually illegal what he did, but it's just a bit dodgy. And
so he's writing to the Secretary of State Secretary.
Yeah. Actually, sorry, now he's the economy minister, Peter
Who's our
Altmaier.
economy minister? I thought we had a different one.
Peter
I thought we had
Altmaier.
Olaf somebody.
Oh, this was in back in 2018. Sorry, I didn't mention that.
Okay. But was I right about Olaf?
No, that's the finance minister, Scholz. But that doesn't matter.
I'm sorry. There's an economy minister and a finance minister.
Yeah.
they're the same thing. Okay, presumably Germany knows what it's doing there more than me. Cool. Awesome. So he is on the board of this weird company that nobody really knows what they do.
Yeah, in America.
In America.
Yeah.
Home of everything legitimate and nothing dodgy at all. And he's like writing to, in 2008, he writes a letter to the economy minister going, can you help these lads out?
Yeah.
What?
Asking them for political support. How it was paraphrased in the NTV website I'm reading here.
Wow.
Yeah, bit dodgy, and he has now given up that. He's quit that job that he had, and in
not
the meantime,
the MP job though, eh?
No, he's not quit that. Although a lot of people want him to quit that, and in the meantime. It has also emerged that he is working as a freelancer for a huge law firm called White and Case. Also, but he has not revealed what he actually does for that law firm, and he does not have a legal degree. Like he's not legally a lawyer. He's being paid somewhere between 1,000 and 3,500 euros a month for doing something for that company that no one knows about, on top of his MP salary. So yeah.
Oh God.
The reason why I find this little bit comforting is it's just that, it's the CDU. This has been happening since the 90s.
They are just out to schmoozle people, aren't they, and make money and keep the oils, the wheels of the either economy or finance turning, because apparently those are different things. I'm baffled by this idea.
Well, the finance minister's like really, really important. He's just like the most important person, except for the chancellor.
Oh, is it like the chancellor of the exchequer, like in charge of the money, and then the economy person is right.
Yeah, like the economy minister would be, like
in charge of kind of the economy of Germany.
Yeah.
Whether the finance minister is kind of funding the government.
Well, he makes the budget.
Or she.
Or she.
Or they.
Well, they make the budget. The finance ministry is like the biggest ministry. They make that. Yeah.
Okay,
it's
now
number 11 Downing Street.
No, I understand. So
yeah,
it's still money.
So they decide who gets. Yeah, it's still to do with money. Anyway,
right.
The point is,
I thought there was like the German finance, and I am not showing myself in a very good light, and I understand it. I'm doing that thing in a podcast where it's like everyone maybe who's listening knows, and it's just like, this is just for me, and I should really have this conversation with you afterwards.
Okay. Or beforehand, ideally. But in fact, we're doing it in the middle. Where's the fun in that? That's not why people listen.
Oh, God, I'm so embarrassed. I'm so sorry. Well, that is oddly comforting.
Yeah, because,
in these crazy times, the CDU are still doing some kind of dodgy dealing.
Yeah, they did this this is why Helmut Kohl and Wolfgang Schäuble fell back in the late 90s. That's why Schäuble never became chancellor, is because he got caught up in the CDU's party donations scandal. And it's just sort of part of why, and that kind of opened the way for Merkel and all that. It was he was like, it's just sort of what the CDU does. You'll like this though. Friedrich Merz.
Oh God.
Has told off little Philip, who he likes. And Friedrich Merz, who has got who's
on the board of BlackRock or something.
Yeah, he's like
even I know with my demonstrably poor knowledge of finance / economy
and
are bad.
And he said, according to Focus Online, he said, hat einfach Mist gemacht. This is, what Germans say for when someone fucks up.
Yeah, but Mats, do you mean that? What do you mean in there? You mean in that you were doing these weird financial deals, or do you mean that you were a bit stupid about it, putting it on the letter-headed paper? Because I'm going to assume that you mean the latter.
Well, the quote goes on. Man darf nicht seinen Briefbogen als Abgeordneter verwenden, wenn man Unterstützung für ein Unternehmen bittet. So, you should not use your own letter paper when you're...
Cover your tracks, Philip, you dumbass.
Yeah, that's actually what the quote says.
That is literally it, isn't it? Cover your tracks, Philip, you dumbass.
Yeah, and he does go on to also say that he quite liked Philip and hopes that he will carry on being MP.
Learn how to do it in a slightly dirtier way. Come on, Philip. Maybe Philip's the hero of this. He's just like a shooting star. He's allegedly 27. And he's just like, oh, but this, if you've grown up in the ranks of like the young CDU, maybe you're just like, well, this is what politics is, and we help out these plucky businesses in the US. They just want AI and they need our help, and I have this letter-headed paper and I can make a difference.
Yeah.
And then suddenly someone comes along and they're like, no, that's supposed to be hush-hush. And he's like, but why? This is politics. It's helping.
Yeah. He was completely
we're
innocent.
all disillusioned, Philip. I'm sorry.
I know. He thought he was doing the right thing. Well, anyway, that's the whole story of Philip.
I do feel oddly comforted. Well done, Philip. You brought us some.
Meanwhile, Donald Trump, remember him? He has...
Sadly, yes.
He has officially announced on Monday that American troops would be withdrawn from Germany.
Oh, wow.
Well, a third of them. Up to now, they've had like 35,000, and now about 25,000 will be left, which is quite a lot less.
Yeah.
A lot fewer American soldiers in Germany. There are still quite a lot of them here.
And what is he giving his reasoning as?
It's because we're protecting Germany and they're delinquent. That's what Trump said.
Sorry. I was like, how mental is this going to be? Oh, it's 100% mental. Of course it is.
He thinks that Germany is delinquent. What he means is that delinquent about paying to NATO, which is not really true.
No. Okay. So we've paid to NATO. We've not paid to NATO. We're not paying NATO, or we're not paying enough. Is that his problem?
Yeah.
We've had
So NATO decided a few years ago that every country had to pay 2% of its GDP to NATO. Well, not to NATO, to spend on defence. That's an important distinction. Trump thinks that means he should be getting money, but that's not what it means. It means that they're supposed to contribute to their own defence budgets, and that NATO doesn't have its own army. It's just an alliance.
But their kind of recommendation is like, 2%. When I go to the bank and I talk to my bank manager, who's just, it's hilarious. She was like, you should be saving this much of your income. And I go, that's what I'm going to do.
And Germany has said that it's going to try, and it's up to like 1.7% or something.
This sounds much like what I've been doing at the bank. But yes, but Trump thinks...
But Trump thinks because America spends like so much on defense. America has it's like a ridiculous defense budget, and that hardly any of the NATO, many of the NATO countries don't pay like the 2%. But he's fixed on Germany because he's jealous of the cars. He doesn't like the German cars.
The toy cars. Merkel's got over on the other side of the sandpit that international politics has become.
And also, I think that it's just because there are so many troops here, and he thinks that they're here to protect Germany from Russia. But that isn't actually what they're here for. So
what would you say that they are here for then, if we're not going with Trump's summations?
Well, they partly are. They certainly they contribute to, they always do these NATO exercises, often in Poland. They go over to Poland, and in fact, one happened last week. They do these, they call it Defender 2020, and they go do NATO.
Defender 2020. Yeah. God, there's no sense of irony in these names, have they?
Yeah, but a lot of the other things that American troops do in Germany is organize the drone war.
Yes.
Through Ramstein.
We've talked about this, haven't we? They all just sit in Ramstein and fly drones.
Yeah.
Which is bad.
And they're not there to protect Germany. They're there to extend America's military power all over the world. Through Ramstein, they have
remotely killing people.
Yeah, well, and also they can put troops there if they want to ever attack anyone in the Middle East or North Africa, for example.
Yes,
occasionally happens. And really? And I actually talked to a former general of the US Army in Europe, and he said this is I don't understand what Trump is going on about, because we need those. Like, if you want US military power, then we're going to need troops all over the world. So he's a bit baffled and exasperated. On the other hand, the Linke Party in Germany, they are delighted. And
I love it when we've got weird Venn diagrams, like when I was in love with Söder for a while because of his mask and Maßnahmen.
Yeah. Strange bedfellows and all that. So, he's the Linke Party would like all of the American troops to leave Germany and all of the American nuclear weapons that are allegedly kept here too.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, it's not really a big moral issue. I just think it's like ridiculous. I mean, why? Like,
it does seem like it's one of these things where you're having an argument and no one's actually willing to get into like we've had a long relationship with America here in Germany. It's like a long kind of marriage, and like there's something in there that you're arguing about. Yeah. But we haven't actually cleared up that issue, and it's actually based on a fundamental misunderstanding of something, but everyone is just a bit like, you're fine, do whatever.
Yeah. And I think that for people who really believe in the old international order and that is created by NATO, then this is like bad news. They think that this is what the security of the world is based on, like alliances like NATO and keeping troops in different places. But
I'm not sure that the security of the world is based on Americans being able to sit here and fly drones in other places and kill people. So
no,
I'm all right. Do whatever you want, but I don't like it when Trump gets his way. So I'm torn.
Well, he's going to get his way on this apparently. Although we'll see what happens.
Who knows?
It's just that an old world is dying and a new one is dawning, and we don't know what it's going to mean for our lives. Moving on. I got a.
Sorry, I have to keep drinking. How's your mega?
I quite like this now. Getting into it, it's a bit sweet, but it's
bully for you. It tastes like Crest toothpaste in the States. It's got that very distinctive taste that I think also is that Dr. Peppery thing. It's really bad.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't like it either. As soon as you got that one out, I thought I hope whatever it is, I'm having that one. Whatever the other one is.
I thought for some reason this was different. Anyway. What's next?
Not next.
Let's add to my.
I got a true crime story. People like true crime on podcasts, don't they?
I do. I love a true crime podcast. It's awful.
Yeah, well, this isn't really like a very big mystery because they kind of know who did it. So it doesn't really work. But last August, it has caused a diplomatic spat between Germany and Russia. Last August, a 40-year-old Georgian of Chechen descent was murdered in Tiergarten. Were you aware of that?
I feel like I did, but refresh my memory. How was he murdered? That's awful, first of all.
Yeah. He was just walking along the path, and someone came up behind him on a bike, shot him in the back, and with a silencer, and then got off the bike and shot him in the head twice. And
on a bike?
Yeah.
In Tiergarten?
Yeah. And then they saw him like throwing a wig and the gun into one of the lakes there, and then he was arrested almost at the scene.
So when you said last year, you meant like
August,
in the 1950s, because this sounds like
it sounds like really old fashioned.
He was on a bicycle,
yeah,
and he threw a wig and a gun into the.
Afterwards, he was on a bicycle. You missed out the bit where he shot someone. He was on a bicycle.
Yes, yeah.
Shot someone and then threw the wig. And the man who he shot was.
I don't even think a wig would sink.
I don't know, maybe it's kind of academic because he's been arrested and is now in German custody. The man he shot had already survived several assassination attempts. He was a militia leader of Chechen separatists and had fought against Russia. Russia had categorized him as a terrorist. because he was involved in that war. And he thought he was, he'd come to Germany for refuge, basically.
Oh gosh.
And this week, the federal prosecutors said that it was a contract killing by the Russian state. And that is the suspicion, which has obviously caused a huge diplomatic row.
God.
And because you're not meant to do that in other people's countries. And Germany...
Not meant to do that? Like, you're just not meant to do that.
No.
It's not like in other people's countries.
And you're not meant to do it anyway. Like, it is obvious, I understand that
I guess
murder
it's even
illegal.
poorer form, shall we say, to do it in somebody else's country.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's...
The killer, the alleged killer, has already been accused of a different contract killing that happened in Russia 5 years ago, where the investigation was mysteriously cut off, was ceased.
Oh.
Like,
when they were like, here, right, we've
might have another job for you.
got a wee something for you.
So,
oh gosh.
So that's that.
And
But
when was he arrested?
almost at the scene, like a few
Okay.
minutes later. And now they've concluded their investigation, and I guess it's gonna be a big court case and everything. Yeah. So that's kind of
nuts.
I mean, it's a bit like out of a novel, isn't it?
It's
a bit
like very... I'm trying to think of any spy novels that I've read, but yeah.
Heiko Maas is very angry.
Oh, what's Heiko Maas been up to? I haven't heard about him in ages.
Well, threatening Russia with sanctions for a start.
So he's the foreign minister, eh? Heiko
Yeah.
Maas. Now, why do we know about Heiko Maas? What was he doing?
What was Heiko Maas doing?
There was some kind of scandal, and Heiko Maas was like the one person who was being like Angela Merkel's conscience. Was it something to do with an arms deal? No.
Oh, it might have been.
I think it might have been when they were like, everyone was trying to get her to maybe think again. Bloody, they sent over Raab, didn't they? To like try and persuade her to give money to give guns to the Saudis.
You don't mean Dominic Raab?
No, someone came. I do mean Dominic Raab. Someone came over.
Why would Merkel send Dominic Raab?
No, the UK sent Dominic Raab over to Germany to try and persuade her.
Oh, yeah. Please sell more guns to the
Am I right?
Saudi Arabia. I can't remember, but you might be, yeah.
And Heiko Maas was like, Angela, 9. I have no idea what he looks like.
Do you want to see a picture of Heiko Maas?
Yeah, I want to see a picture of Heiko Maas.
Hang on.
But he's very pissed off with Russia, as you bloody would be.
Yeah. He's
It's not okay.
yeah, I mean, he's not a particularly popular politician, but I think he's all right.
Well,
That's
it's
what he
probably
looks like.
because Yeah, I thought he looked like that. A bit like the other lad, but younger somehow.
He actually looks younger than Philip Amthor.
I mean, everyone looks younger than Philip Amthor.
Bob Dylan looks younger.
Okay, so Heiko Maas is pissed.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really have anything else to say about that situation. It's kind of awful. But it also,
It is awful, but I mean, I don't know anything about... Yeah, I don't know. No one deserves to be shot when they're just in the park.
Yeah.
It's terrible. But it does sound like something ridiculously filmy. I am struggling to get through this Megacan. I can do it. Come on.
Got to do a drink.
Oh, God.
So
I'm not sure I can. Oh. Ugh.
I'm trying to find a way to wrap it up now. I don't want to end on a just like Heiko Maas is angry about a murder.
Yeah. I'm kind of like, I'm finding it hard to like engage with it in my usual thing because I'm like, this can't be true.
Yeah.
Someone can't have just been shot in the Tiergarten and then by someone wearing a wig.
Of all things.
That
You
to
thought
me
that-
seems crazy. Like, why not just like a wig?
Yeah, well, like it seemed like poorly planned because clearly the wig didn't work because they caught him.
Yeah.
Like it's not a very good whodunit.
No. I think we're going to have to, if we take one thing away from this episode, we take several things. The world around, how did you put it? The world around us is crumbling.
It's
A new world order is emerging. We don't know what that's going to be.
Yeah.
It is probably going to have some element, however, of CDU like corruption on a like economic /finance level. Cool. And there's still going to be maybe like super kind of 1950s spy, Cold War-esque kind of
Yeah.
not botched because they did actually kill a man, which is awful, but, you know, then got arrested. Contract killings.
It'd be good if he talked in the trial.
Okay, well, yeah.
You know, but he probably won't.
But I think, our ultimate takeaway is sweet for the love of all that is good and holy and delicious in this world. Do not buy a Bacardi Au Carte.
Yeah.
It is awful.
Don't even buy it to try it because we've said how awful it is, because you will still regret it.
This is where, yeah.
It's like when you read a really bad film review and you go, I kind of want to see why people think it's so bad.
Yeah.
But this view will actually it will be bad for you. It will probably make you a bit more diabetic.
I feel awful. Really quite ill.
Okay. Well, so you
don't do that.
Go off and have a proper drink, and we will talk to you again later.
Yes. Have a nice weekend, everybody. Stay safe.
Bye.
Bye.